Hello Aries, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Wow, look at that. Before I even get started, we get the Empress energy. That's perfect. Love that. What was I saying? Yeah, this is your reading. All right, so please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing, especially if this resonates with you. All right. And as always, if there's anything you need me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so let's try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And now we have a Queen of Swords, so we're going to put that with our Empress. Let's see what's going on here. This is there's some pretty strong air energy here. Oh yeah, we've got a lot. We've got a lot. It's fairly balanced here. Let's select our mystery card. Before we get too involved here, we're going to select one card randomly from the Smith-Waite Tarot. And this is the card that we just set aside. We'll put the little horse on top. And we're not going to look at that until the very end. And hopefully that card will tie everything together. Give us the confirmation of this, right? That's what we need. So what do we have? Well, we've got these two major arcana. We've got some fire. We've got some water. We've got some air. And we have some earth. So it seems like we're going by twos here. So everything seems to have its pair. Everything seems to have its complement. And to me, this is very interesting. This is very interesting. But let's start at the beginning, and we'll match these cards up as we go, I think. So we started with the Empress. I think you are someone who is, I think you're very kind and very generous. I think that you have a big heart and you like to give. You like to take care of people. You like to return the favor, so to speak, right? You like to really be extra kind and extra generous to the people in your life, your loved ones. I think that you're very appreciative. You know, I think when somebody shows you a kindness, you feel compelled to just return it 100-fold, right? Because you have this gratitude about you. I think what's going on, if we look at these energies, I mean, let me just point out the kind of odd pairings that we have. We have this selfless giving, right? This is kind of Mother Nature, just gives and gives and gives, just abundance, just creativity, just provides, as much, is just a complete giver, right? We contrast that with the Devil energy. The Devil energy is kind of a taker. It's kind of a card that just, could be looked at a little bit more selfishly, right? It's kind of ruthless. It just has this unwavering ambition, right? Wants to succeed, wants to get to the top of that mountain at any cost, can't be deterred. This is different. The Empress is just kind of, we want to grow. The plants are going to grow everywhere. It's just going to be really, really abundant all over the place. And, there's a contrast here, right? There's a contrast between this fire energy that we have as well. Because up here we have a Five of Wands. This is competition. This is fighting, right? This is kind of along the lines of that Devil energy. This is reaching out and kind of taking what's owed to you, right? This is fighting to defend yourself, fighting for what is right. This is a lot of activity. The Nine of Wands is a very strong card, but this is kind of a quiet strength, right? This is a reserved kind of energy. This is more of a receptive energy, I think. This is more of an internal strength, a resolve, a commitment, a resolution within ourselves. So there's a contrast here. And then there's a contrast between these water energies. I don't know if you could see this. The Four of Cups and the Six of Cups. Right? The Four down here is about emotional stability. It's about not trying to really reach out, just trying to be self-contained, trying to be okay kind of within our own emotions and our own life, and being rather protected and reserved. Whereas the Six of Cups is all about sharing, is all about appreciating the abundance in the other person, right? This is more about connection. This is more about preservation. And we have the air energy. We have the Seven of Swords, which is kind of confusion, mental blockages. It's feeling like we can't really pick the right path, or we can't really see which option is the correct one, or there are these distractions. The Queen of Swords has absolute clarity, is carrying the Ace of Swords, knows the direction they're going, is not hiding anything, right? The mask has come off. This is absolute clarity. So a big contrast between these two. And then, of course, the earth energy. We have the Six of Pentacles, which is accomplishment, completion. We've succeeded. We've made the connections. We've manifested, and now we're enjoying that, right? We have the harmony that we set out to establish. So this is more of a celebratory, almost restful card, whereas the Prince of Pentacles is all about the activity, is saying the work's not done yet. There is still more to do. And it's not really up to the Prince of Discs to decide when we're done. It just continues to work. So there's a contrast here between a lot of these cards. I just wanted to spend a minute to notice that, because that's very strange. To have perfect, 2x2 kind of connections here. I think this is, I think you're living a blessed life. With this Empress energy, you really are, I think you're experiencing miracles. I think what we're doing is, excuse me, my voice is terrible. What we're trying to do is show appreciation, show our gratitude, right? This kind of Empress stuff. To God, Goddess, Deity, to the universe, to Spirit, right? But how do you show appreciation to something that's infinite, right? I think we're experiencing all of these blessings. We're experiencing the miracles. How do we deal with that? How do we show appreciation for that, right? So I think there's kind of this thoughtfulness about you right now, where we're almost trying to figure out how to fully utilize these blessings, these miracles, this abundance that you feel, this love that you feel. It's almost as if anything that we do is not enough. We want to be of service. We want to take care of our loved ones, of people. But I almost get this sense like you don't know what to do. You don't know what the right expression of this energy would be. Yeah. Because down here, of course, contrasting the Queen of Swords, we have this Seven of Swords. So I think within you, there is this, not confusion so much as a little bit of a blockage of the clear way forward. How do we express our energy? How do we connect with people? How do we balance the spirit and the earth, so to speak, right? Heaven and earth. How do we balance higher self and lower self? How do we, if we're receiving these blessings and these gifts and these miracles, how do we then transform our lower self, our personality, into the perfect vehicle for this spiritual energy? Right? How do we take this kind of inner certainty, this confidence that we have? This is This here is the knowledge of the higher self. This is the experience of that, right? That interconnectedness. How do we express that through the 5? Right? Through the 5 of Wands. So I think the 7 of Swords here is us trying to figure out how to fully align our personality, our everyday life, along these spiritual lines, right? To fully give expression to all of these miracles and blessings and abundance that we feel. So underneath it all, I think we're kind of unsure of ourselves. There's a little bit of, we're not so confident in how we are expressing ourselves. And trust me, I know exactly what that feels like. But we're contrasting that with this clarity, with the Queen of Swords. Now, the Queen is the water energy, right? Connected with the air energy. So it's kind of this sense of having to trust our intuition, right? Trust your higher self, trust your true self. I don't know if I like this idea of a higher self and a lower self. I like to think of it as the true self, which encompasses everything. It encompasses our personality. It encompasses our personality with our thoughts, our emotions, our subconscious. It incorporates, obviously, the divine consciousness. It incorporates the shadow. It's all of it. It's the totality, right? I think with the Queen here, it's this idea that you're learning how to trust your intuition. We're not going to really try to figure things out. Yeah. We're not going to necessarily make these logical choices. It's going to be more of a feeling, more of an expression, more of a higher perspective that can gain this intuition, right? Because this Empress energy is very expressive. It's very it doesn't have much direction, right? It's just nature. Nature will just grow everywhere. Doesn't really discriminate, doesn't really, we'll grow. If the conditions are right, it's growing. And what we're trying to do, I think, is kind of narrow this down in our lives. Now, this could be talking more about a career kind of dilemma for you, something in your personal life as far as family, friends, how to be the best version of yourself, how to be the best part of your community, the best part of the global community, the cosmic community. So I think that you're experiencing a lot of spiritual insights. I think that you're very torn between how to express yourself, how to, in what areas to take this energy. It's almost there's all of this Empress, this love and abundance in you. We're having a hard time picking a path for it, right? Picking an expression for it. And of course, the Queen, like I said, represents this higher perspective, the intuitive, kind of sorting things out, right? Getting a clear vision with no mask, not hiding anything from ourselves, especially. Yeah. So we do have these 6s to deal with too. The first thing, maybe the 6 of Pentacles. I feel like you've recently had some win in your life in terms of your physical existence. This could be a career win, maybe something health or wellness related that you had a good day, right? I think you've accomplished something recently. Maybe you got that job you were after. Maybe you got the promotion. Maybe you got the clean bill of health. Maybe you recovered from an illness. Something to celebrate here. Something that I think you're celebrating with your family or with your friends or coworkers, perhaps. It was a pretty good day. And interestingly, what we're looking for in the future is more good days. right? Here's another 6, the 6 of Cups. So that's going to be interesting, but let's contrast this 6 of Pentacles with the Prince of Pentacles here, Prince of Discs. This is in the position of what we don't want. And I think in this case, this is representing perhaps a lot of effort, but with no real direction, right? This is the idea that we don't really want to take off. Excuse me. My voice is so terrible today. We don't want to take off from this place, right? This good day, this big win. We don't want to set out in a new direction unless we know exactly what this direction is, unless we have the clarity, this air energy sorted out so we know where to go from here. Because again, the Prince of Pentacles in this position is what we don't want. And this is some energy that we'll just get to work. We'll just start doing things, you know. Doesn't decide if it's right or wrong, just we'll keep working. Doing the activity. It's not a mindlessness. It's an intense focus, but it knows that its role is not to decide good or ill, or to decide a direction, but just to do the work, to organize the work, to get things moving, right? In a very kind of organized and diligent way. But it's up to us over here to decide where this energy goes. This is what we don't want. We don't want just that kind of, directionless activity. We don't want to do a lot of work in any particular direction off of this until we're absolutely sure where the right expression of ourself is going to be. But this is also the card of what we need. We don't want it, but we need it. We need to continue making progress. This is a good place to be, but this is temporary, right? This is just one rest stop. It's one ledge, one plateau on our climb. But we need to know where to go from here. Because this card, while it does indicate cooperation, celebration, and coming together, an accomplishment, it also tells us that there are many directions still to choose from. So where do we go from here? That I think is a big question for this air energy to sort out. Yeah. I kind of feel like we're very blessed to have these kinds of problems, But let's do the fire energy now before we get to the water. Because I like this 5 of Wands up here at the top. This is the expression of your fire, your creativity, your confidence. This is you knowing that whatever direction you choose, you're going to have to really push and struggle and strive. I think that's what you like to do. I mean, it's Aries after all, right? I think you want to find the right expression for your energy to express all of your love and appreciation, all of this abundance, all of these miracles and blessings, all of this Empress stuff. You want to find the right expression for it that is going to be worthwhile in the sense that you're having to use your energy, right? It feels good to exercise, to lift weights, to run. It feels good to push your body, to move your muscles. It feels good to push, to meet some kind of resistance, right? We don't want the path that is just so easy. We want a little bit of struggle. We want a little bit of competition. We want to have to strive and fight and push through the obstacles. Yeah. So this is you really reaching out. This is you overcoming inertia and gravity and the resistance of the air and moving toward your goal, whatever obstacles are in front of you. We thrive on that challenge. But still, underneath it all is the 7 of Swords. We just have to figure out how we want to express ourselves. But this is one factor. Whatever path we choose has to have this Five of Wands aspect. Now, to contrast that, in our environment, we see the Nine of Wands. It's the environment, but it's more our relationship with the environment, you know? And this is real harmony. This is sun and moon connected. This is strength. This is real strength. This is an inner strength. This is the difference between just fighting, you know, just seeing a challenge and just automatically, you know, throwing punches, versus the inner strength required to hold back those punches, to not just punch instinctively, you know, reactively, but to the strength to overcome our own impulses. Yeah. Because I think there are a lot of things that you want to do, and that's kind of where we're being led a little bit by the devil and by this Five of Wands. There are things that we do feel just compelled to do, things that we, I don't know if it's our body or our personality or certain parts of us that just feel so drawn in a certain direction. We have to be able to restrain ourselves until we can get the higher clarity, that spiritual insight. I wish we had a star card here somewhere. This is the power of restraining ourselves, right? There's something that might be very alluring to you. We've got that Devil card. That temptation might be there. Well, we've got to be able to restrain ourselves, right? We don't jump on the first train that comes along. Yeah. Though we want to, though the first challenge we see, we want to go fight it. We have to be able to hold ourselves back and discern the correct moment, the correct opportunity, discern the correct direction, right? We need to understand that in this case, not all roads lead to Rome. You know, there's one particular way for us that is going to be the best way, right? Very, very Taoist. There is no infinite way. There is no eternal way. Every path is very specific and unique. So we have to understand ourselves. We have to understand this connection. We have to understand what's going on in our spiritual lives to know what we should be doing right now. And I think that you're having, with this Empress energy, you're having a bit of a spiritual awakening that's given you this desire to create this inner abundance, right? You're very aware that you are blessed and that miracles are real and they are happening. And now, which way do we go with it? Where do we take it? Well, let's talk about the water energy now. The Six of Cups. We want the good days to come, right? Having a good day here, we've accomplished something. And this honestly could be just realizing the miracles in your life. This was maybe the realization that you are blessed. And now this is the future that we want to create. This is the abundance within us, resonating with the abundance outside, with others, with the universe. This is us connecting with our community, with our neighborhood, with our family, with our partners, with ourselves. This is the real pleasure. This is the path with heart. This is the path you want to take that leads to connection, that leads to harmony, that leads to us overcoming our kind of impulse to just, scrap and fight. And, we like to go out and find challenges. And you will always have challenges. But the kind of future that we're trying to build is one of harmony and resonance. This is a relationship with whatever, if it's a job, company, a business, customer base, family, friends, whatever this is, it's a relationship built on mutual respect and love and affection and appreciation. It's the Three of Cups within saying, I appreciate and recognize the Three of Cups within you. And the Three of Cups is the ability for us to create love, to create this, the six, the connection, right? And not everything that you put your Three of Cups into is going to return it to you. Right? There's no guarantee. It's not automatic. No one's obligated to connect with you, even though you're putting your energy out. It's a risk, you know. But this is the kind of perfect, beautiful, harmonious future that we want to create. Maybe this is a romantic thing for you. Maybe you're looking for for a more intimate kind of group of friends, or you're looking for something in the workplace, in your career, that feels more like family. You know, something like this. Now, path of the serpent here. We're contrasting this 6 with this 4. The 4 is kind of the opposite of the 6. And I mean, not really, but in this case, it feels like it. Because the 6 wants to reach out and connect. It wants this kind of future. This is the ideal state that this is the tomorrow that I want. Well, this is the today that we have. It's a 4. It's reserved, it's protected, it's not taking any risks, this one, right? I always use the analogy of the boat. In the harbor, it's anchored. It's not sinking. There's not a hole in the boat. It's not sailing anywhere. It's in a safe spot. It's in the bay. It's protected. It's maybe in the harbor, you know. This is a card of self-preservation. It's difficult for us to open ourselves up emotionally, because how do we go from the 4 of Cups to the 6 of Cups? We need the 5. And the 5 of Cups it could be really good, it could be really bad. We have to be willing to leave the harbor and sail the turbulent seas, if we had a 5 of Cups, in order to get to this paradise of the 6 of Cups, right? So this is kind of what it's all about, is being willing to take the risk that's in here to get to this, I don't know, kind of utopia here. You can't just jump from the 4 to the 6. So we have to be willing to accept the uncertainty and the risk involved in opening ourselves up and trying to connect with others, or we just stay here. You don't want to stay here. I feel like you're open to the risk involved in that, because we've got a 5. You're willing to get into a competition, understanding that maybe you're going to lose, you know, if it's a work thing or a sport or something perhaps, or just the resistance of, you know, working out, exercising, that sort of thing. The activity, the physical activity. But are we willing to take the same kind of risk emotionally, spiritually, by opening up, right, to get to this 6 of Cups? Because I feel like that's the tomorrow that you want, right? I think that's why this card is here. Now we climb further up. First thing we know, we have this 9 of Wands. We know that we have this inner strength. We know we're very certain of the spiritual connections that we have. It doesn't make the process, the water process, doesn't make this any easier. This is the commitment that we have to ourselves. This is the commitment that we made to our true self, right? The capital S, the self. This is to me, it kind of translates to trust, really. Now, that has nothing to do really with this card, except maybe a trust in self. We think of it as an inner strength, a resolve, you know, a trust in our own abilities or my own decision making. But not in a personality, lower self kind of way, but a trust in big self, right? It's whatever you believe in, God, goddess, deity. Could be higher self, higher mind, could be universal mind, could be ancestors, guardian angels, whatever you want to call it. But it's a trust in that. Because we know that we're connected, sun and moon conjoined, higher self, lower self, spiritual consciousness, and personal consciousness. This doesn't make it any easier. But it lets us know that this is a path that we have to be on, that there's no getting above or under or around it, right? A little 21 Pilots reference for the day. So what do? We get to work. We don't need this card. We have to take the risk. We really need that 5 of Cups, you know. And we might just have to make it ourselves unless the mystery card turns out to be that 5 of Cups. We have to be careful of this devil energy, because the devil energy, again, is going to climb whatever mountain you put in front of it. So we could be tempted to climb, well, maybe the easiest mountain. We could be tempted to climb the mountain that has the best weather, or that just looks the prettiest, right? Or just whatever mountain is closest to us. You know, tempted to do something to get to this. This is the summit of that mountain, right? This is the future that we want. The devil card, this energy, is not really going to take shortcuts, but it's going to try to find the shortest path, right? The easiest path to get from A to B. So we could be tempted to do what is going to be the easiest, the least risky, the whatever is going to feel good to the personality in the moment. You know, whatever sounds like the good choice right now. Right now, I would love to have another cup of coffee, but I'm not going to. It's terrible for my throat. That's what I want to do. You know, and as soon as I initiate that path, there's no stopping it, really, you know, because of this devil energy. It takes a large effort to throw this card off of the track, right? To get this goat to come back down the mountain is nearly impossible. So we have to be very discerning on what path we take. We need this clarity. We need this higher perspective. Now, I'm sorry this video is going a little bit long. Let's get to that mystery card, okay? Let's see if I can put these back where they were. There we go. All right, mystery card. Coming on in with our little horse. Let me straighten these up a little bit. All right. I'm biding my time so I can try to get a vibe on this mystery card, but I'm not getting one. I'm just going to say it's going to be that 5 of Cups because that's what I want. That's what I feel like we need. You know, we need to get a move on emotionally, to open ourselves up, to take that risk, right? To open the floodgates and just let it happen and see where it goes. It could be that we already gained this clarity, that we already know what we want. We just have this self-preservation 4 of Cups that's just saying, I don't know, right? So I'm thinking 5 of Cups here for the mystery card. Well, no, it's a 6 of Cups, which is interesting because now we have 6, 6, and 6. Nobody gets scared. 666 is not an evil number, right? It is the mark of the beast, and we do have this devil energy. I don't want anyone to freak out. Don't get scared. As my daughter would say, don't be scared, it's only me. With these 6s, I feel like this is really a magical moment. I feel like we are going to attain this connection with people. Just the image on this, just the image on the Rider-Waite Smith 6 of Cups is beautiful. It is giving, it is receiving, it is exchanging gratitude and appreciation and love. It really is the kind of future that we want, right? It is exactly what we want. It is resonance and harmony and pleasure, right? It is the kind of spiritual utopia, almost. It is the paradise. And I feel like since we have 3 of these cards, 3 6s, I feel like on the physical plane, we're going to have that resonance and harmony. On the mental, emotional plane, we're going to have that resonance and harmony. On the spiritual plane, as well. Of course, we're going to have that harmony. And maybe the fact that we have these 3 6s is, maybe this is allowing us to bypass that 5, right? Maybe we don't need the 5 anymore. Maybe we're just bridging, maybe we can bridge this with just another 6. Maybe we don't need the risk, we don't need the turmoil or the struggle or the uncertainty or the loss, or the disappointment that might come as we work our way to the 6. Maybe we just give love, give gratitude, be thankful, extend our miracles and blessings to the rest of the world, and there's no choice but for us to get to the future that we want. This is very interesting to have these 3. Let me know what you think in the comments about getting the 6 of Cups. To me, it really kind of aligns everything in such a way that I feel like you're really blessed. I feel like this is kind of the proof of that. Yeah. Wow. We are going to do an extended. If you would like to stick around, just click on the link up there in the corner. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot.